Namaste. Namaste, everyone. On page 153, we're going to begin with name number 751. Om Bhu Swaha, Om Bhuva Swaha, Om Swa Swaha, Om Bhurbuva Swaha, Om Bhuta Panchashkamasingyati Swaha, Om Bhogopachara Kulasharayati Swaha, Om Visadatriyati Swaha, Om Bhucharyati Swaha, Om Vititne Swaha, Om Bhakti Gamyayati Swaha, Om Bhaktanamarchanasingyati Swaha, Om Bhaktanukampinyati Swaha, Om Bhimayati Swaha, Om Bhaginyati Swaha, Om Bhaganayitayati Swaha, Om Bhagavidyayati Swaha, Om Bhagaklinayati Swaha, Om Bhagadyomyati Swaha, Om Bhagapradayati Swaha, Om Bhageshiti Swaha, Om Bhagarupayati Swaha, Om Bhagagohyayati Swaha, Om Bhagravahayati Swaha, Om Bhagodoryati Swaha, Om Bhagaranayati Swaha, Om Bhagyatayati Swaha, Om Bhagamalinyati Swaha, Om Bhogapradayati Swaha, Om Bhogavasayati Swaha, Om Bhogamulayati Swaha, Om Bhoginyati Swaha, Om Virudayati Swaha, Om Vedinyati Swaha, Om Vimayati Swaha, Om Bhadrakaryati Swaha, Om Vidojitayati Swaha, Om Vairavyati Swaha, Om Bhuvaneshanyati Swaha, Om Bhuvanayati Swaha, Om Bhuvaneshwaryati Swaha, Om Vimakshi Swaha, Om Bharati Swaha, Om Vairabhashkasayati Swaha, Om Aswarayati Swaha, Om Aswatiyati Swaha, Om Niti Swaha, Om Basvadanashalinyati Swaha, Om Bhagirati Swaha, Om Gogavati Swaha, Om Bhavagni Swaha, Om Bhuvanatnikayati Swaha, Om Buddhidayati Swaha, Om Buddhirupayati Swaha, Om Buddhastayati Swaha, Om Buddhavardinyati Swaha, Om Maheshwaryati Swaha, Om Mahamayayati Swaha, Om Mahatejayati Swaha, Om Mahasuryati Swaha, Om Mahajivayati Swaha, Om Mahalolayati Swaha, Om Mahadamstrayati Swaha, Om Mahabhujayati Swaha, Om Mahamohanagadakarine Swaha, Om Mahamokshapradayinyati Swaha, Om Mahadaridrashamanye Swaha, Om Mahasatrudimardine Swaha, Om Mahashakti Swaha, Om Mahajyotishe Swaha, Om Mahasuratimardine Swaha, Om Mahakayayati Swaha, Om Mahapiryayati Swaha, Om Mahapakatanasinyai Swaha, Om Maharabayati Swaha, Om Mantramayati Swaha, Om Manipurabhimasinyai Swaha, Om Maninyati Swaha, Om Manadayati Swaha, Om Manyayati Swaha, Om Manachachurkochurayati Swaha, Om Mahindyai Swaha, Om Madhurayati Swaha, Om Mayayati Swaha, Om Ishasuramardinyai Swaha, Mahakundalinyai Swaha, Om Shakai Swaha, Om Mahavibhavavardinyai Swaha, Om Manasya Swaha, Om Adamye Swaha, Om Edayati Swaha, Om Atidayati Swaha, Om Atidarinyai Swaha, Om Enekakarasambudayati Swaha, Om Enekabhaginyai Swaha, Om Mati Amanti Swaha, Amahodorya Swaha, Amuktakeshi Swaha, Amuktikamyartha Siddhidaya Swaha, Ameshi Swaha, Ameshasaraya Swaha, Amadhudaitya Mardinya Swaha, Amahaprataya Swaha, Amahamurtanaya Swaha, Amahamayadhinashinya Swaha, Amakanya Swaha, Amakanya Swaha, Amakanyatumbamandingataya Swaha, Amahadoraya Swaha, Amananiyaya Swaha, Amatmatangakaminya Swaha, Amukaranatopalhataya Swaha, Amhanmada Dunitra Gochanaya Swaha, Amahaparadasinya Swaha, Mahajarabhayapahaya Swaha, Mahachintya Swarupaya Swaha, Amanimandrabhaushabhya Swaha, Amanimandrabhapadyastaya Swaha, Amanimarabdirajitaya Swaha, Amantrapnikaya Swaha, Amantragamyaya Swaha, Amantramatre Swaha, Usmantrinya Swaha, Amerumantramadhyastaya Swaha, Amantrakritikuntalaya Swaha, Amantaraya Swaha, Masushmaya Swaha, Madhuti Swaha, Ameshwarya Swaha, Amalinya Swaha, Amanabhya Swaha, Amadabhya Swaha, Amadrupaya Swaha, Amadukataya Swaha, Amadiraya Swaha, Amaduraya Swaha, Amodinya Swaha, Mahoshitaya Swaha, Amangalaya Swaha, Amadumaya Swaha, Amadapanaparaya Swaha, Anoramaya Swaha, Aramaya Swaha, Rajeshwarya Swaha, Aramaya Swaha, Rajmanyaya Swaha, Ratujaya Swaha, Ratupalabhibhushanaya Swaha, Rajiva Lakshanaya Swaha, Ramaya Swaha, Radhikaya Swaha, Ramamalabhaya Swaha, Shakinya Swaha, Amrakinya Swaha, Alavanya Vichitaya Swaha, Rudranya Swaha, Rudrupaya Swaha, Rudraya Swaha, Om Namo Iti Swaha. Let's return to page 153 and we'll begin to discuss the meanings and the applications of these names and how they apply to our lives. She who resides in the five elements, she who is happy with the offerings of enjoyment, she who is the creator of rice, and that means the creator of nourishment as well, of sustenance. She who moves into perceivable existence. She who destroys fear. She who travels with devotion. She who destroys enemies of those who bow with devotion. We have a chance. If we can only bow with devotion, we have a chance that she'll come and destroy all of our enemies. She who has the feelings of devotees. She who is terrible, and that means fearful, frightening, awesome, cool. She who is wealth. And she's all kinds of wealth, everything we value. She's the ponder. And she is who is the most important wealth. She who is the knowledge of wealth. She who is the flow of wealth. She who is the womb of wealth. So all the wealth takes birth from her. She was the giver of wealth. She was the supreme ruler of wealth. She was the form of wealth. She who is hidden wealth. The one you can't see so easily. She who is the conveyance of wealth. She whose wealth increases. She who is the bliss of wealth. She who is the giver of fate. She who wears the garland of wealth. She who is the giver of enjoyment. She who resides in enjoyment. In fact, everything you enjoy her. Hey, this is something really neat. What do you enjoy? And why do you enjoy it? I believe everything we enjoy to the extent that we're not there. Because when you like something, say you watch a good movie or you read a good book, you get so deeply identified with the characters of the story, you forget about yourself. And then it's a good story. And I enjoyed it. Say you enjoy a good meal. You enjoy many delicious tastes. And you enjoy them because it was so tasty, all you could think of was the taste of the food, and you didn't think about I am the taster. So that everything we actually enjoy is actually, we enjoy it to the extent that we're not there. That it takes us away. It takes our mind away from the thoughts of little me. And she resides in the enjoyment. We start seeing it as enjoyable because she's there and we pay attention. Every time we pay attention, we enjoy. And it's not enjoyable when we don't pay attention. It's enjoyable to the extent that we pay attention, and that's paying attention to her. She who is the root of enjoyment, she who is the enjoyer of enjoyment, she who inspires awe. I told you she was awesome. She who has divisions, that means she makes individual forms. She can be described of as not this and not that. So she's made those divisions. She who is formidable. She who is the excellent one beyond time. She who is the wisdom of discrimination. She who is fearful. She who is the ruler of the earth. She who is the earth. She who is the supreme ruler of the earth. She who has formidable eyes. She who shines with wisdom. She was served by Bhairav and the 8 servants. And Bhairav has 8 forms of Shiva. He comes with we give them 8 flowers in the morning puja to the 8 forms of Bhairav and Ashtasevak. Those are Bhimaya Namo, Ugraya Namo, Pashupatiye Namaha, Ugraya Namaha, Mahadevaya Namaha, Surigaya Namaha, and I left out 2. Can you remember which 2? Because I started. Kshiti Murteye. That means the gross body, all that is perceived, and Jala Murteye. So these are the 8 forms. You'll find it in the cosmic puja under Shiva worship, and also in the Shiva puja, advanced. She who has excellent illumination, she who is the spirit of illumination, she who is fear. She who is the strength of rising illumination, she who is the Ganges. And Bhagirath, remember Bhagirath was the son of Dilip, who was the son of Sagar, and Sagar was doing the Ashwamedha Yagya, and Indra came and stole the horse, and Sagar's sons, he had 60,000 sons, they went in pursuit of the horse, and they went they found the horse tied up outside of Kapil Muni's ashram. And they barged into the ashram where the Muni was meditating. They say, what are you closing your eyes and pretending to meditate for? Why did you steal our father's horse? The Muni woke up from his meditation and said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been here meditating all of this time. And the 60,000 sons of Sagar started abusing him even more. And not only are you a thief, but you're a liar too. Here you are with a horse tied to the gate to the ashram. We know it must have been you who stole the horse. And now you're a thief and a liar. And they started to abuse him. And Kapil Muni got up from his asana. He got very mad. He said, you doubt the word of a Muni, and you're calling me a liar, you're calling me a thief, and I curse you, let you become ashes. And he burnt them to ashes just with his mantra. Well, Sagar came and fell at the Muni's feet, and he said, how can my sons be redeemed? Here they are, a pile of ashes in the middle of your ashram. How will they become, how will I reunite with my sons? And Kapil Muni said, when Ganga comes down to the earth, she will take up all those ashes in her waters and wash them to the ocean, and then you'll be united. Sagar means the ocean. The ocean will be united with the ashes of the 60,000 sons of Sagar. Sagar tried to do tapasya to bring Ganga to the earth, and he was not successful. Then came Anshuman. He tried and he was not successful. And then came Dilip, and he tried and he was not successful. And then came Bhagirat, and he tried. And he was successful. And not only did he get the boon that Ganga would come down to earth, and that she would nourish the whole of India, and she would wash the ashes into the ocean, but she would also be called Bhagirati. Because in honor of Bhagirat, who brought her down. So she is called Bhagirati. This is to the Ganges. Ganga. Who is the spirit of all enjoyment, she who destroys existence, she who is the soul of the earth, she who is the giver of the elements, she who is the form of the elements, she who is situated in the elements, she who distinguishes the elements. And these are the 5 constituent elements of creation that we're discussing: Shakti, Aptaj, Moral, Bomb, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So these bhutas are the Panch Mahabhuts. They are the elements of existence. She who is the great seer of all. She who is the great limitation of consciousness. We already spoke about her as Mahamaya. She limits consciousness by creating a form and defines it. She who is the great light. She who is the great sun. She who has a great tongue. That's my mom. When she sticks out her tongue, no other desire can reside. Remember Mahakali, when she sticks out the tongue and she drinks up the seeds of desire. She who has a great wagging tongue. She who has great teeth. I know her dentist. She who has great arms. She who destroys the great darkness. She who is the giver of the great liberation. Mahamoksha. Hey, I would think there's a difference between liberation and the great liberation. Because the great liberation is a lot bigger. It's really great. It's more liberating. So, you know what? We get liberated from moment to moment. In fact, I would consider the space between 2 thoughts as a silence. And in that silence is sunya, there's a void. And in that sunya, there's liberation because there's an absence of thought. It's a samadhi. So we all experience samadhi many times during the day, except it passes so quickly that we're not habituated, we're not trained to see it. We're looking for thoughts, not for the spaces between the thoughts. So liberation is the space between thoughts, and when you take that space and make it longer and longer and longer, it becomes samadhi. And when you make it really long, it becomes mahamoksha. It becomes the great liberation because it's really a long time. She who calms the great affliction. I'm sure you all know what the great affliction is. Me. The me in all of us is the great affliction. Every time I say I'm afflicted again. And she calms that great affliction and says, we. She who slays the great enemies, I confess. She who is the great energy. She who is the great light. She who is the great duality. She's everything. She who has a great body. I think she's a number 10. She who has great heroism. If she'll stand up to my ego, she must be heroic. She who destroys the great sins. And I want you to know these patakas, these mahapatakas, these great sins. Actually, in Sanskrit, the term it stands for obstacle or confusion. Because the concept of sin is a lot different in Sanatana Dharma, where everything is perfect, than it is in Judeo-Christian theology, where there was an original sin and we were all born from it. So these great confusions or great conflagrations, conflicts, are the great sins because they make me, who's in conflict? Obviously, it's my conflict. I'm in conflict. And that's the sin, is thinking about me, again and again and again. So here she is, Mahapataka Nasini. She destroys these great conflicts, these great confusions, these great conflagrations, which arrive from my thinking about myself all the time. She who has the great song, she who is the manifestation of mantra. Remember, mantrayate, the mantra, that which takes away your mind. And she is the manifestation of losing your mind. If you see her and can't think of any other thought, she is the manifestation of all mantra. She's taken away the mind and all the thoughts. And that is the manifestation of the mind I want to have. Only one thought. No conflict. No confusion. No duality. Only Mahamaya. The great measurement. The limitation of consciousness. The form. The definition of purity, clarity. Purely absorbed consciousness. She who dwells in the Manipura chakra. And remember, she in the Muladhara. In the Manipur. She's in the Muladhara, she's in the Manipur. She who is all thought. She who is the giver of thought. She who obeys the mind. Interesting. She obeys the mind because she's the manifestation of the mind. She's all the thoughts of the mind. She who moves with the eyes and the mind. She who is the great emblem of devotion. She who is sweet. She who measures. She who slays the great ruler of duality in the form of a buffalo. Mahishasura Mardini. Remember, you know what? Mohan means great. Ish means to rule. Ashur means duality. This buffalo, Mohish, is really the great ruler of duality. And you know what? This great ruler of duality, remember, you look at the highways of India, there's a hierarchy. First come the tankers. Everyone moves to the side of the road when the tankers come down the middle. Then come the Tata trucks. And then come the new SUVs. And then come the ambassador cars. And then the little Marutis. And then the scooters and the cycles. And then the pedestrians. And that's the hierarchy of the road of India. But everyone moves over for the buffalo. No matter how big is your truck, no matter how fast you're going right down the center of the one lane, everybody stops for a buffalo. The most stubborn beast on the Indian highways is the water buffalo. She won't move over for anyone. So that great ruler of duality in the form of a buffalo means the most stubborn ego you can imagine. That's me. She who is the great Kundalini energy. She who is competent. She who distinguishes the great existence. She who is thoughtful. She who is the earth. She who is the intellect of love. Remember, there's a great difference between buddhi and metta. Buddhi is just intellectual. And metta is intellectual lovingly. It's more powerful, more important to me because of my love. So she's the intellect of love. Sort of like the difference between, so many distinctions. She who gives devotion. She who is the supporter of thought. She who shines in the womb of Menka. And remember, Menka was sent down by Indra to disturb Vishwamitra's meditation. And she did. And when she got pregnant, she started to shine. And she gave birth to Shakuntala. Because when she gave birth to a little baby girl, and she said, okay, Rishi, my job is done. I've disturbed your meditation, and Indra's calling me to go back to heaven, and now I've got to leave this baby. And Vishwamitra said, wait, that's your baby, it's your problem. I am not able to take care of nourishing a young infant child. That's the mother's duty. So if you want to abandon your child, go ahead, but it's your sin. I'm going back to complete my tapasya. So Vishwamitra went back to complete his tapasya, and Indra started calling, Menka! Hey, come on back to heaven right now, I'm calling you. And Menka said, what shall I do? I have to go, my poor child, please forgive me. And she set the child on some nice leaves, and a shakun bird came and opened its wings so the sun wouldn't shine in the baby's face. And so the shakun bird is like a stork. Some other people call it like a big hawk, or like an eagle, a bird with big wings. And the shakun bird stood over the infant child who was crying in the forest. Along came Kamba Muni, and he heard what is that? That's the sound of a human baby crying in the forest. Let's go investigate. And he found the infant child, newly born, at the feet, at the tala of the shakun bird, and so he named her Shakuntala. And of course, Shakuntala went on to become the mother of Bharat. And Bharat became the one for whom India is named, the land where the light of wisdom always shines. She who shines in the womb of Menka She who is the good fortune of Menka. She who thinks. She's a thinker. She who has a large belly. Boy, do I like her. She who has loose hair. And that also stands for a liberated woman. If they don't tie their hair, they usually don't tie the rest up either. So they're unbound. They're a liberated woman like Durga and like Shrima. They are all loose hairs. She who is the giver of attainment of liberation. If you get liberated, she gave that attainment. She who is the great seer of all. She who rides upon a buffalo. She who is the slayer of the demon too much. And that stands for excess in everything. Wherever there's excess, there's the demon too much. She who is the great vow. She who has a great head. She who is the destroyer of the great fear. She who is the limbs of thought. She who is intoxicated with the limbs of thought. She who contemplates the family of the limbs of thought. She who is very fearful. She who obeys the mind. She who moves intoxicated with the limbs of thought. She who has a necklace of pearls. She who has cunning eyes full of love. I don't think it says purple, though. She who destroys the greatest faults. She who takes away fear of the greatest thieves. She who is the intrinsic nature of the greatest contemplation. Can you contemplate anything greater than her? She who is the gem of the mantra that is the greatest medicine. She who is situated in the middle of the temple of gems, in the Mani Mandap, the temple of jewels and gems. She was seated upon the garland of gems. She who is the soul of mantras. She who travels with mantras. She who is the mother of mantras. She who is an excellent mantra. She who resides in the midst of Meru mountain. And remember, the Meru is at the summit of the Sahasrar. So when you make the journey from the Muladhara to the Sahasrar, you climb Kailash, you come to Mount Meru, and she resides in the midst of Mount Meru. She who has created the place of crocodiles and sharks, otherwise known as the world. She who gives turning to the mind. Again and again. She who is greatly subtle. She who is the great ambassador. She who is the great seer of all. She who cultivates. She who is human. She who is the earth. She who is the form of intoxication. She who has immense love. She who is intoxicating spirit. She who is as sweet as honey. She who infatuates. She who has the great strength. She who is welfare. She who is the manifestation of sweetness. She who always drinks honey. She who is beautiful. She who is lovely. She who is the queen of queens. She who is lovely. And she who obeys the king. That's why she's the queen of queens. Because she obeys the king. She who is worshipped by the king. The king says, I command you to stand there and be worshipped. And she accepts. She who shines with red. She who has kingly eyes. She who manifests perfection in the subtle body of consciousness. She who is Radha. Ra means the subtle body, A means the manifestation of consciousness, Dha means who supports. Radha, who supports the manifestation of the subtle body of consciousness. And that's why she is the consort of Krishna. Ka means the cause, Ri means the perception, infinite perception, Na means who manifests the cause of infinite perception, or Kri means to do, and Shna means all, the doer of all. So she supports the manifestation of the subtle body of consciousness. She who is the strength of Ram, Sitaram. She who is a Shakini, an energy for positive change. Remember we were talking the other night about the Shakinis, Dakinis, Lakinis, Hakinis, Bakinis. And I know there are a couple of other kinis that I haven't gotten. The bikinis. She who is a Dakini, an energy for negative change. And she who fills consciousness with a loving intellect. And these are our 900 names. Let's pause here tonight and see if there are any questions. Yes, please, Srini.
Swamiji, there are a few names related to mantras, and I have a question about mantra.
Yes, please.
So when we chant the mantra, we hear the sound of the mantra, our mind registers the sound of the mantra. And we also you also said that we should try to understand the meaning of the mantra.
Yes.
Are these two things to be done simultaneously? Both listening to the sound of the mantra and trying to meditate on the meaning of the mantra, like when we chant the Chandi or any scripture?
Yes, both simultaneously. The mantra has effect in the gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body. In the gross body, it is a vibration that we are intoning, we are pronouncing, we are causing this sound to emanate from this vehicle. In the subtle body, it has a concept, it has a meaning, and we're losing all the other thoughts of the mind because we're concentrating on that meaning. We're perceiving that meaning, even if it's just the meaning of her. And in the causal body, it has a vibration which is so deeply intuitive, it is taking us deeper inside, deeper intuitively into our inner reaches, into our swabhav, into our intrinsic nature. And that's how the mantra affects us on all three levels at the same time. Now, are we aware on all three levels at the same time? Most of us spend our time daydreaming when we're reciting the mantra. So we're only really engaged in our subtle body, in the world of dreams. We're not paying attention to the real actual meaning of the mantra. There she is, taking away the energy from my negativities. And now I have lost my mind. I've lost all the thoughts of my mind. I have only one thought, and that thought is you. I have only one vibration, and that vibration is your mantra. I have only one feeling. I'm only cognizant of one sound. So in this way, we use the mantra to go to the bija, which is the subtle body of sound. And we use the bija to enter into the bindu, which is the point where all sound is one with God. And we go through the bindu into the Shabda Brahman, where there's only the sound of God. Even while we're reciting the Chandi or the names or the text or whatever, if we can focus on the name, if we can focus on the meaning, if we can focus on the privilege of having this opportunity to express my love for you, the sincerity of my devotion for you by the exercise that I'm performing today, at that point, we are cognizing on three levels at the same time. Otherwise, we're paying attention to one, and then another, and then another.
Swamiji, a question from Nanda from San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
Swamiji, she is the giver of liberation. Can you please help me understand what liberation means, especially as in our tradition we pray for pure devotion and not liberation? Thank you.
Nandama, when you are submerged and fully absorbed in pure devotion, that is liberation. The terms are used interchangeably. They simultaneously mean the same thing. Because when you are totally absorbed in love, and there's no duality, and there's just pure devotion exuding from your heart with the greatest intensity of sincerity, how can you be bound? That is liberation. We're just calling it by different names according to our perception. But being in love and being fully devoted and having sincerity and having vyakulata and being in wisdom and being liberated and being in the perfection of silence and not being there at all, they all mean the same thing. So don't try to debate and chop up logic and play semantical games with people who are making distinctions. Try to be a uniter and get into the experience and feel it. And feel it so intimately that it becomes your reality. So there's no difference between wisdom and devotion when you're there. The highest wisdom is to be fully devoted. The fullest devotion is wisdom. Oh, why would you make a distinction?
Question from Kumari from Valley Hope. Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste, Kumari Ma.
You spoke about the void or silence between the thoughts. Is one of the goals of our spiritual practice to increase this silence? How is it possible for a devotee of God to work in this silence?
Well, first of all, Kumari, we experience interludes between the thoughts many, many, many times during the day. The focus of our meditation is the endeavor to make that space a little bit longer, and a little bit longer. And we do that through the exercises that we perform. We make our body sit still, we make our breath regular, we focus our attention, we stare at a murti, we stare at a fire, we make offerings, we're giving and giving in different ways in the attempt to purify ourselves so we can slow down the thought processes, so we can watch for one glimpse of the space between the two thoughts. You only have to see it once to know what it looks like. If I said, Kumari, please go out and find me a whatchamacallit, you would say, Swami, I have never seen a whatchamacallit. How will I find it? How will I know what I'm looking for? Of course, my reply has got to be, Kumari, when you find it, you'll know. That's not sufficient. So now I'm giving you another exercise. Slow down the thoughts. And look for the space between the two of them. The space between two thoughts is equal to the space between two breaths. If you can make your breath slow down, it would be possible, or probable, that you would be able to find that whatchamacallit. It would be more probable that you would get that one glimpse. And once you have the glimpse of what it is you're looking for, you're set for life. That is liberation, to know what you're looking for. Because so many of us are out there roaming around the world saying, have you seen a whatchamacallit? And we don't know what it is. We can't tell by her definition. So now if we slow down the thoughts and just get one glimpse of what the interlude between two thoughts is like, we know what samadhi is like. We can remember what that thought was like, what that absence of thought was like. And there we can go into that experience again and again and again.
Swamiji, a question from Janitri from Reston.
Namaste, Janitri.
Namaste Swamiji, how do we discern between what is a positive change and what is a negative change?
Positive change will always take us closer to our goal. And negative change will take us on a tangent or even push us backwards. So if you know what your goal is, if your goal is to find that whatchamacallit, if your goal is to find that interlude between two thoughts, positive change will increase your capacity to go closer to the silence. That space between two thoughts. That space between two breaths. Negative change will take you into the chatter and into the concept of I and into egotism and attachment and to confusion and conflict. And then you can understand very easily. Am I going where I want to go? Or am I really saying where I want to go? Because many of us, if you ask us what we want, oh, I want God, that's first on my list. But what are we doing? We're running after the confusion and the conflict. But I have to. Please.
Swamiji, so how do we slow down the thoughts?
First, learn to sit still. Second, learn to breathe regularly. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. That's how. Start with yam, niyam, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Ashtanga yoga is the path.
Swamiji, a question from Ambika from New Jersey.
Namaste, Ambika Ma.
Name 871 says, she who gives churning to the mind.
She sure does.
Aren't we trying to stop the churning of the mind?
Yes.
Can you please help me understand this name?
When we see that all the churning of the mind is actually the manifestation of Mother, it stops churning. In the same way we sing, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Samstita. Confusion, roaming, churning of the mind. Namastasya, 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 Namo Namata. As soon as we see that it all came from her and it is all a manifestation of her, it ceases to be conflicts that I have to resolve. It becomes an opportunity to have darshan. Stop! Slow down your mind and see her. Behold, she is here amongst us, giving blessings. See her as the mother instead of as the confusion, and the confusion stops. See her as divinity made manifest, and all the churning stops churning. Now, let me figure out what is the best solution to apply to these circumstances, and let's go to work. What's all this churning about? Is it going to help me? Probably not.
A question from Karen from Colorado.
Namaste, Karen Ma. Namaste, Michael.
When we say Annapurna's mantra from page 20,
Yes.
that's Om Aim Hrim Shrim Klim Namo Bhagavate Maheshwari Annapurne.
Yes.
Do we call forth all qualities of the 1,000 names?
We do. If you can stay with one mantra, you are invoking all the aspects of that one deity. That one divinity comes in, manifests in the form of that mantra. But if you lose the mantra and you can't say it anymore, then say her 1,000 names. But if you can say the mantra, just stay there as long as you can. And she'll get brighter and brighter for you, and bigger and bigger, and greater than the greatest. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.